Hello there, fellow humans, and welcome to this video. And today I want to talk about trash. Well, it's not the 907, and it is not that YouTuber, but instead it is Wargaming. As always, you know, Wargaming. Everyone loves Wargaming. Not, you know, they love to sell overpriced pixels for a lot of money. They love to ignore what you want to have in the game, and they love to be investigated for money laundering. So, wouldn't they also love to rig matches against you? That is a very stupid question. Obviously, I want to talk about the entire discussion about rigged matchmaking or whatever. Well, the simplest way to simply solve it is for Wargaming to publish their algorithm, and then you could exactly see what they're doing. Obviously, they're not going to do that though, because then another company could then take the algorithm and use it themselves. So that's not going to happen. Basically, what is the problem here? Well, you have people claiming that the matches are rigged, and then you have people claiming they're not. And I'm neither of them, because I don't simply care. And the reason for that is quite simple. Because, let's talk about it. If the matchmaking is not rigged, and you think it's not rigged, it's not going to have any impact on you. It's actually going to be good for you, because your morale is high, you're confident in your own skill, and you know that what you're doing is up to you. Now, if then matchmaking is not rigged, but you do think it's rigged, that has a big problem for you, because then you rig yourself. If you think it's rigged, well, it isn't. What you're simply doing it is you basically just pull yourself down, you know, just like you blame something out of your control for your lack of control, basically. Like, if you have a bad team, whatever, that happens. If you get a bad match, that happens. That is not something that you can control, and it can definitely happen. But if you then assume that something like that has a pattern to it, i.e. rigging, that is negative for you, because when you then think that you're purposely being neglected or worsened by the matchmaker, then you're gonna also worsen yourself, because you're not gonna believe that you have a chance of being better, because you believe that you're being put down by the game itself, which is obviously very detrimental to then your performance and also your enjoyment of the game. Therefore, believing the matchmaker is rigged when it isn't is very fatal. Now, then we get to the scenario of what if matchmaking would be rigged. Is that a sentence? I don't know. But basically, first of all, we have to establish why would it be rigged in the first place. Quite simple. Wargaming wants money. If it would bring them money, they could consider that, because obviously we know their morals are quite questionable. So, would rigging the matchmaker in certain people's favor bring them more money? I would argue no, because if you assume that every single player is a potential customer, and you ruin experience for a part of them in favor of another, then you're also ruining a potential customer. Basically, if you would prefer players that already paid, and neglect people that haven't paid, then you eliminate a new audience of paying players. So there is no real reason to neglect people or to, you know, treat them unfairly, because you want to have everyone as a customer, right? And if you treat some of your customers shit and some of them good, it's eventually not gonna really go well. So I don't really see a point where they would rig it. This is Wargaming, so I would simply put the matchmaker down to incompetence, you know, as in, it's random. And if you roll a coin, you need 14 coins here, and if one side has 4 yes coins and the other side only has 3 yes coins, then the yes side wins, basically. And then you can roll that 20 times in a row, and it's likely that can happen. That's 20 times in a row, so you can lose 20 times in a row. Also, funny thing is that people always only complain about 20 times losing, but when they win 20, 30 times in a row, they don't complain. That's what's funny to me. But anyway, the discussion here obviously is quite fatal, because it bases on the flaw of something that you don't know, that I don't know, that no one really knows except Wargaming, but obviously they're probably not going to share, because business secrets, stuff like that. So it doesn't matter if you talk about it, whether it's rigged or not. And simply just being like, yeah, it could be rigged every time. Yeah, of course it can be. But, hello. That's just how it fucking works, you know? I could be Kobe Bryant, but am I? So, yeah, then, obviously the last thing that you have if you don't believe that it's rigged, and it is rigged, well then you're actually in quite a favorable position towards those that believe that it is rigged, because if you don't do that, then you have an advantage, because then you're not really focused on what's happening, and you're simply being like, I'm doing bad, so I have to improve. And you're not gonna think, yeah, this is rigged, I can't improve. You're gonna try to improve nonetheless. And that is actually good. So, even if it were rigged, and you wouldn't care about it, that would be the better stance at that point, in my eyes. Because, for example, if I do 4K and lose, I personally have won for myself. You know, because I don't care. If someone else can't carry their own weight, then that is not my problem. You know, it's a team game, and I'll help the team as long as it doesn't actively hurt me, right? I don't want to, like, I'm not gonna stick out my hit points for a camping Leopard 1 or a camping T-30, something like that. That's just, you know, you essentially gotta learn how to use bad players to your advantage, you know, because when you can't change it, you can either quit the game, which is what you can do, or you can learn to use it as a benefit. Also, you could be that chieftain and just rage, I guess. But, I mean, the U100 is gonna cap, so I'll take that. So yeah. The entire is matchmaking rig discussion is dumb, and I would like it to not be brought up again, because it doesn't matter, okay? If you think it's rigged, and if you're not having fun at the game, walk away. Just walk away. Wargaming is scummy. They're not gonna change. They're not gonna get better all of a sudden, you know? They're gonna continue to push bundles. They're gonna continue to push garbage. They're not gonna improve things that doesn't bring them money. So in the end, it's up to you what you do with the game. Because if you don't enjoy it, why would you play it? And if you do enjoy it, what does it matter? What does it matter if they're selling fucking shit bundles? Just ignore those. What does it matter if there were rigging matches? Just enjoy it, you know, because if you're having fun, you're fine. So, yeah, it's quite simple. You know, sure, complaining about bad players is fun. Laughing at them is fun. But in the end, what is most important is you hitting that like button. I don't know. Essentially, in the end, the verdict of this video is, shut the fuck about matchmaking. It's bad. We all gotta deal with it. Everyone's equally fucked. And you're not special. And I'm not either. So, basically, if you beat the matchmaker, if you do better, then I'm proud of you. And if you're trying to become better at the game, then I'm proud of you as well. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.